So we're taking the candle back from Indonesia, and we'll be keeping it here at headquarters for the next hour or the next half hour because we're in the UTC +6 time zone and we do not have a local event in that area. So let's take a look at what countries are in that. Let me get the list of the countries. UTC 6. So we have Bangladesh, Bhutan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Myanmar, and Cocos Keeling Islands. Yes, so we're going to keep the flame here at headquarters. And I'd like to talk a little bit with you about meridians. We have several ways to balance meridians in Touch for Health. We have acupressure points that we can hold, and we also can trace the path of the meridians. When we do that, we can do it in two manners. So we can either trace the path with our hand for each individual meridian, and we'll follow the order that they are at their peak energy level during the day. So we'll go from, for instance, we'll go from stomach to spleen, from spleen we'll go to heart, from heart to small intestine, etc. Or we can regroup them because there are several meridians on the same part of the body. For instance, on the inside of the arm here, we have several meridians that go down the inside of the arm to the fingertips. So there's 3 of them. So we can do either way. Sometimes it's easier to regroup them than to do them individually. So I was thinking that during this time that we'll be together, that we could trace those meridians. We call it a meridian massage. And I thought we would do it both ways. So I'm just going to take my sweater off because it's a little hot. There we go. Okay. And so we'll be doing the regrouped meridians first, and then we'll go through them individually. Okay. So I'm going to push the table away so that you can see my whole body because there are meridians on all parts of the body. And let's see if you can see me. Not really, so I need to pull it down. Okay. Looks almost good. Just stick it back a little bit more. And that should do the trick pretty much so. Almost. Push a little bit more. And we'll see what happens here. Yeah, and turn this down a little bit more. Okay. Technical adjustments. Great, that goes good. Okay. Maybe just a little bit higher. Yeah. Okay. So you can just follow along with me. We do normally the meridian massage in a very slow manner. So we're going to trace up the front of the body, trace up the back of the body, and I go down the inside of one arm, up the outside of that arm to the face, down the inside of the arm, and up the outside of the arm to the face, around the eyes, down the front of the body, on the inside of the legs, and up to the torso. Come to the head, go down the back and sides of the body. And we're going to repeat. we finish going up front and back. So that's how we regroup the meridians in order to trace them. And it's something you can do every day to get your energies moving and to balance yourself. It's very quick to do and very effective. Now we're going to do a longer version of the meridian balance. So we'll be taking each meridian individually. So actually here it's 7 a.m. That means that we are in the stomach meridian time. So what we're going to do is we're going to first do the central vessel and the governing vessel meridians. And then we'll start with stomach and we will go through the 12 meridians and finish with stomach, which is the meridian that is at its peak point at this moment. Okay, so I'll be doing each meridian, I'll be tracing it, massaging it 3 times. Okay, so here we go. The central vessel. Governing vessel. And now stomach. We'll be going into spleen meridian. Which will take us to the heart meridian. Small intestine. We'll be doing the bladder meridian. And for the kidney meridian, we'll need to start on the bottom of the foot. You can kind of do both at the same time. We'll be doing the circumflex meridian or the pericard meridian. And now the triple warmer meridian. We have gallbladder meridian, just clear down the side of the body. Liver starts down on the big toe, up the inside. And now we're going to do lung meridian. And large intestine meridian. And we can finish once again with stomach meridian, because that's what time of day it is. Stomach meridian is active from 7 to 9 a.m. Great. So let me pull back the table. And so that's a meridian massage. So you have both ways you can do it. Regrouping them. Hi, Juno. And you can also then do them individually, starting with the conception vessel and governing vessels, and then going to the meridian that it's at its peak energy point at the time of day when you're doing the balance. For us, it was stomach, and going around the wheel of the meridians until you come back to the meridian that it's at its peak point. It's something that, when you regroup them, takes about 3-4 minutes. And when you do them individually, it takes a little more time. You can do it slowly, like I did, or you can do it very quickly. You can put music on. You can do it without music. It's lots of fun. You can do it on someone else. You don't need to necessarily touch the body. You can stay slightly off the body as you pass certain points. It's fun to do as a family with little children. And it helps get your energy moving, like we were talking about before. So meridians are part of the traditional Chinese medicine health system. And it's kind of interesting because meridians can now be put into light by certain technological advances that we have. For instance, the Kirlian photography can show us when a acupressure or acupuncture point is stimulated. We can see that path with the Kirlian photography. We can also see it with thermographic photography. So if you do like a moxibustion or cupping on an acupressure point or an acupuncture point, then you can see the energy going along the meridian line. So we're starting to get a handle on seeing the manifestations of these meridians. In Touch for Health, it's just very simple. We massage the meridians, and each meridian goes in a certain path. What's important to know is that it's a one-way direction on a meridian. We often compare them to rivers. So you could say that a river doesn't go backwards and forwards. A river flows in one sense, and that's the way the meridian does as well. And it's important to massage the meridian in the pathway, in the direction that the energy circulates on the meridian. Got that one out, okay. So that's important to follow along. You can see it on internet and YouTube's, and you can also check out our YouTube channel where you will be able to see this publication, this video that I've done here, and you could just review it and see it many times and do it. And then once you've done it about 6 or 7 times, you pretty much so got it down. So then you would be on your own. Huh? So that's kind of fun. Meridians are fun to work with. And even on animals, they can be really useful. Mm-hmm. So we were talking about the health triangle before, and about the holistic aspect of Touch for Health. Another thing that I would like to talk about, another principle or basic notion to Touch for Health, is the self-responsibility model. That means that I am responsible for myself. And when we're talking about health or working with people, we always want to respect that fact that each person is an autonomous, independent person, and that the person knows best for herself or himself what is best for them. So that's an important point in Touch for Health. We don't impose things, we don't diagnose things, we don't give counsel. What we do is we go into certain topics with people, and we can share our knowledge so that the person can make a conscious choice about what they would like to do, what he or she would like to do in his or her life. This is a very important point. So anytime in a Touch for Health balance, the person who is receiving the balance is 100% in control, and is the person who's going to say, okay, let's go further, let's stop, I need a break, I need a glass of water, I need to blow my nose, or I'd like some fresh air, or can we just sit down for a moment and talk? These are types of things that are important to listen to and to respect as a Touch for Healther. And we can also do that for ourselves, because oftentimes we push ourselves and we don't listen to what's going on inside of us or what our inner truth is. And so that's part of being a Touch for Healther. That means that during the day, while I'm going through certain activities, I can stop and listen to myself and see what's going on inside me. How do I feel about this? Is this okay with me? Do I need to change this? Do I need to adapt it? What are my basic needs in this situation? We've often forgotten to do that. I'm not quite sure when we forget to do it. Little children do listen to themselves. When they have needs, they express them. But as we get older, I'm not quite sure when or why or how, we kind of get away from that inner knowledge of what's going on inside of us. And so that's a part of Touch for Health, is getting back to that connection with ourselves, whether it be knowing physically what I need, or mentally, emotionally, biochemically. If we talk about biochemical parts, it's the part of us, it's about eating what's good for us. Oftentimes we know that certain foods do not correspond to us, but we eat them anyway. And that's not respecting our bodies, or respecting who we are, or respecting our specific needs. So it's oftentimes good to listen to that and say, well, do I really need to eat that? Is that really going to make me feel good? And if it's not the case, then to put it aside and go for some other food that makes us feel better. That's also part of Touch for Health, is identifying what effect certain foods have on our energy level, and then choosing appropriately which foods we would like to eat in order to meet our energy needs. So, we don't ever exclude food items, but we can lower the quantity that we eat of them and privilege other food elements that make us feel good. Each muscle has certain nutriments that make the energy circulate better. So this is the self-responsibility model. It's not often, how can I say this? Sometimes it's not hard. Sometimes it's hard, that's what I meant to say. Sometimes it's hard to be responsible for oneself. It would be a lot easier if somebody else were responsible and we could just say, oh, it's their fault, or, oh, that's because of them that I, had this great thing. But ultimately, that's not true. We are responsible for ourselves. And so Touch for Health is getting back to that holistic way of treating oneself, and the joy that comes from that. Because when we make choices that bring us further and help us grow and evolve, then that's a very joyful experience that is makes us very enthusiastic. So that's part of getting into self-responsibility. We do also have the educational model in Touch for Health, which means that throughout a balance, we will be learning about ourselves. And the balance is a learning process. So when we talk about learning, inherent in every learning experience is the possibility of making mistakes. Because when we make mistakes, that's how we learn. So in the process of receiving or giving oneself Touch for Health balances, We will also be going through a certain errors and certain succeeds. And that's what's going to balance out in the end is more succeeds. And we will evolve and learn from those errors to do something differently. And that means that when we do things differently, then we have a different effect on our lives. And that's the ultimate goal for a balance, is changing what happens with us in a given context. Mm-hmm. So, Touch for Health wins. We could talk about that. I'm trying to think of some Touch for Health wins that I've personally had. Well, I talked about the bike and going to Peru. That was a big win for me, to be able to evolve and benefit from my vacation. Having a realistic viewpoint of what was possible for me, and then being able to realize that and see that I reached that potential. I've also used Touch for Health for various situations. For instance, when I have a conflictual relationship, work relationship, and I need to prepare myself for a meeting, then I will go through a 14 muscle balance, which is the 14 meridians. And that prepares me, gets my energy moving, and keeps me in a growth mode. I often use the ESR. Like I said, I'm a pretty emotional person. And so if I have a strong emotion, whether it be positive or negative, that is still in my body, then I can hold those points and help it to release, so that I am no longer my emotion. I am who I am, and I have the consciousness of experiencing an emotion, but I am not my emotion. That's kind of a weird way of saying it, but maybe you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Those are all wins I've had. I've seen Touch for Health do amazing things within my clientele. For instance, I'm always very amazed with babies when we work with Touch for Health. Sometimes babies who have problems sleeping, we do one balance. And when we can balance a muscle, which means we're balancing the energy circulation on the meridian, and that has an effect on the whole global meridian system. When we do that, we can also talk about metaphors or symbols that are associated with that meridian. And oftentimes it's very interesting when we do Touch for Health, and we'll be massaging points on the body, or holding points, or massaging meridians. On a baby's face, when I'm guiding the mother who is doing the bouncing on her child, you can often see on the baby's face, the emotions that they're working through as we use the points. And that's very, it's very exciting to see that, because a baby's face doesn't lie. A baby's face is very true to what's going on within him or her. And so it gives the mother an opportunity to notice that there is a change being affected. And that helps the mother as well, or the father, because sometimes fathers come with their babies too in sessions and balances. It helps them also to be a little more into the concrete reality of what's going on for their baby. I've seen insomnia taken care of with Touch for Health 14 muscle balance. I've also seen some pretty amazing things with animals. I like to work with animals. I don't work that very much with animals, but I've had some pretty intense experiences, very rewarding experiences. One time I worked with a horse who had been given a medication in his food, and the horse was allergic to this medication, which meant that when he ate, he had a whole reaction. And so the horse had just decided to stop eating, as if he thought that any food he would be given would be that uncomfortable, and so he just decided not to eat. And this has been going on for like 4 or 5 days, and the horse was getting weaker and weaker. And I just happened to be there because my youngest daughter, was doing horseback riding. And I saw this woman, who was very concerned around her horse, and I started talking to her, and she told me her problem. And my daughter was, doing her lessons, so I said, well, why don't we balance? Why don't we do a touch for health balance with your horse? Do you have time now? Can we do this? And she said, yeah, sure, I'll be up for it. So I worked with her, balanced her out first, and then had her touch the horse. And we went through the 14 muscle balance once again for the horse. And if I can describe like the horse throughout the balance, the horse was really just hanging its head down, not moving at all because it hadn't been eating for 4 or 5 days and was very tired and passive. So the whole time we were working, we were very close to the horse. We were standing up close to the horse, and the horse just didn't move or anything. And it took us a while to get through all the muscles. There were a lot of meridians that were unbalanced and that had to be balanced again. So we were working with a lot of points. The meridians are not all the same on horses as they are on humans. So basically, I worked with the horse's owner on balancing points on her body while she was touching the horse. And so we got through the 14 muscles, and when we'd finished the last one, which was large intestine, the horse threw up its head and went and moved over, and I was like right here next to the horse's face, and then the horse just smelled me until he came down with his nose to my hand, and he smelled my hand, he licked my hand, and then he turned his head over to his hay basket and started eating hay. And it was like so amazing for me to see the direct effect of the energy work that we had done with him. It's one of those stories that every time I talk about it, I get, chills up and down my spine and all over me, because it was so powerful for me to see. And that's just one horse story, one horse balance. But animals, babies, they really show you what's happening when you do a touch for health balance. Yeah. So even doing meridian massage with a baby, doing it in a loving way with lots of kisses and lots of nice touch is a really neat way to be in contact with your baby, and also to help them balance the different things that they're going through, because as a baby we learn a lot of things, and so there's a lot of growth happening, and it can be unbalancing or a little stressful at times. And so doing the meridian massage is a great way to accompany a child or a baby through this growth process. Yeah. So those are kind of interesting stories about Touch for Health. And I'm going to go on the website now and see if India has come online, because I think they are the next, but I'm not quite sure about the times. So online, because I think they are the next, but I'm not quite sure about. So I'm going to just turn myself off so we don't hear double. And let's see, so India should be coming on. Let's check out which channel they're going to be on. So India will be on channels 2, 3, 5, and 6. And I'm currently on channel 1. 2, 3, 5, and 6. Okay, so I don't see them on yet. I'm the only one who's on directly. So let's do some more balancing, if that's okay for you. Let me get back to my screen so I can see myself to make sure I'm doing things that you can see. So we're still in stomach time, so let's do a time of day balance for the stomach meridian. So we're going to once again start by massaging these zones, which is the governing, the central vessel meridian, neurolymphatic zones. So we'll do these points for about 20 to 30 seconds. And we're going to massage at the base of the skull and again on either side of the vertebrae. So we're not directly on the bones, but we're on each side of the vertebrae, central bone. Okay, and then to find the next points, we put our thumbs out, stretch our arms straight out, and fold at the elbows. And where that hits, those are the points that we're going to massage. And these are neurolymphatic points, itchy nose. These are neurolymphatic points for the governing vessel meridian. It's between the second and the third ribs. So for the back points, back neurolymphatic points, we stretch our arms up, fold at the elbows, and we're on either side of the spine between the second and third dorsal vertebrae. So we're on the side of the spinal column. Okay, so the neurolymphatic points for the stomach meridian are on the left-hand side between the 5th and 6th ribs, right where the bra hits, if you're a woman. So we're going to go ahead and massage that all along the side, from the front to the side, but between, we're going to follow the space between the 5th and 6th ribs. So it kind of goes up. These can be tender spots. So if it is tender, don't hurt yourself. Just go lightly. Take a little pressure off so that it's comfortable. It can be a little bothersome, but it shouldn't be painful. If we were to massage those back neurolymphatic points for the stomach meridian, we'd be on the side between the 5th and 6th dorsal vertebrae. But that's something that we can't really massage ourselves. So when we're doing self-balancing, we'll just do the front part of that. Now for the neurovascular points for the stomach meridian, it's the same as the ESR points. So we're just going to hold these. And you can either keep your eyes open or keep your eyes closed. So this is no longer a vigorous massage like the neurolymphatic points. You just put your fingers on your forehead with the pressure that you would put on a closed eyelid. And we're going to just sit like this for about a minute. Okay, and now we want to massage the stomach meridian, so it starts under the eye, comes down. We're going to bring our hands back up and come down the front on either side of the nose, down here, down the front of the body, down the front of the legs, all the way down the front of the legs to the second toe. So let's do it again. We'll do a total of 3 times. Down the front of the legs to the second toe. Once again. There we go. And that's the time of day balance for the stomach meridian. Okay, so we have some messages from some of the Touch for Healthers out there. I wanted to go ahead and read those to you. Let's see where I've got them. I've put them here. So let's see, there we go. So Anu Mustaparta, who is in Finland, she wrote, "Hello my friends, amazing day is coming. I wish all the best joy and bless to everyone." And she also wrote down that September 29th is also World Heart Day. So that was kind of fun to get that message. Yes. And we have a message from June Tranmer, who says, "Love to all from the heart of Yorkshire. Really looking forward to tomorrow." We have Anna Mitchell, who says, "Hello everybody, looking forward to doing our bit here in Dubai. Have a wonderful time everyone." And we have the team at Progressive K, who says, "Thinking of you all tomorrow. We're all ready to roll for the Balancathon here in Essex, UK. Good luck, everyone." Miranda. get some more messages here. We have the team at Nurture Holistic Therapies who wishes, have a great Balancathon with a heart to everyone involved. Noraini Mahmoud, who says hello from Bahrain. I think we are ready, but my heart is fluttering. Que sera, sera. Have a fabulous time. Love and big hugs. Corinne Luc, who says, happy to share this amazing event with you all, heart to heart from Toulon, France. All the best for our Balancathon. Alexis Costello, who says, hello from Costa Rica. I'm excited for an event in our tiny village. It is debatable how many will come. Only about 100 people live here. But we have bilingual Touch for Health manuals, flowers, fruit, and kombucha. So, how good can it get? Have a wonderful heart time tomorrow. Sarah Ray I already read to you, as well as Brain Joggers. And we have Tina Baker, who joined us from San Diego, and she is the last minute join up. And so she was trying to figure out how she was going to be able to join the Balancathon as well. And I was really excited about that because San Diego being in California, that's where Touch for Health got started. So that was pretty cool to see that. I wanted to see if I had any previous messages that were sent earlier. I have Rashida, who will be joining us in India, and she says, hi, Robin, and all my Touch for Health family. I am so looking forward to this event. A bit nervous, though. Have a fabulous day of balancing the world. Warm regards, Rashida. And we have Henry from Indonesia. He wrote, Dear Robin, Bali and Tangerang Selatan are ready for tomorrow's live event. My instructors and I have prepared everything we can do. So let's have fun tomorrow. Thank you for your hard work. And we have, I think that's about all of the messages. Nobuko, who says, thanks to the website, which helped her find a Balancathon event in her area. She said, I also found the many Touch for Health, loving and joyful 14 muscle dance videos. Again, I thank you for your precious time and the good work. Hazel Miller says, in the UK, says, thanks everyone. Looking forward to sharing the amazing energy that is Touch for Health all around the globe and being a small part of this. Sandy Gannon wrote a message to thank me and our fellow committee members. Sandy is part of the committee. We'll talk about the committee afterwards. And she said also, and she would like to thank her friend Jonthi, without whom none of this would have been possible. She says, good luck everyone. Have a fabulous Balancathon. We will change the world one person at a time. May we all touch and heal more and more, from my heart to yours. We have Malene, who is in Norway, who had to change her plans. So she will be gathering with family and some friends. She says, have a good time and do some balances and some 14 muscle dance. She promises to send pictures. I'm looking forward to the event, and we will follow as many time zones as we can. Best regards from Malene. José Toussaint says, thank you for all the information. Christine Plum, who is at Body Connections in Canada, was asking all about how to do live streaming and sending pictures. She's going to send pictures in afterwards and was curious about how the event was going to take place and wishes everybody good luck. We have Khalil Cabañas, who says, hello, Robin. Thanks for all the info and the answers. He's not going to be able to do internet connection, but we'll send some pictures and videos. The event will be held in Cordoba, Veracruz, and says to everyone, let's keep in touch. Krista Ostertag will also be balancing the world. And I think that pretty much wraps it up. Oh, Janelle Kogan. Hi, Robin. I'm in Newcastle, north-southwest Australia. She has done an event there as well, although she was not in live streaming, but she was balancing. So they've had some good energy moving in Australia. And we have Tina Sabodik from Slovenia, who will not be live streaming, but will be joining us at the UTC +2 Western and Central Europe times for balancing. Yeah, so those are some of the messages that I've received. If I haven't mentioned your message, I'm very sorry. But I did get it, and I do appreciate those messages, so thanks so much. We have Earl Cook in Atlanta, who said he'll be doing the Balancathon. He'll be incorporating it directly into his Touch for Health 2 training that's happening this Saturday. And they're going to be streaming about 15 to 20 minutes during the Heart Meridian time. So thank you, Earl, for all your contribution and your hard work for Touch for Health. We have Anja Hamuda, who is joining us and wishes everybody good luck. And that pretty much wraps it up. So I wanted to talk to you about the committee. The Balancathon is sponsored by IKC, and several IKC members who are all Touch for Health instructors joined together to make this all possible, because organizing a 24-plus hour worldwide energy balance is not something that you can just improvise. So we have several people on the committee. I'm on the committee, and then we have Tony Lilly from Australia, who's on the committee. We have Sandy Gannon from the UK. We have Helena Arguelles, who is also UK. We have Thomas Holvot, who is from Belgium, and we have Xavier Menin from France. So I would like to thank them, really sincerely thank them for all their hard work and their support. And also to thank IKC for believing in this idea and investing time and effort into it, as well as financial support. And so this is the first time for IKC to do something of this, like this. And so this was a lot of merit to them for believing in this type of new idea. So thank you very much to IKC. And thank you to all the local organizers, because this event could never happen if they didn't have local events. So there's some pretty amazing things going on. I saw one Facebook page about an event that's being held, I'm not quite sure where, but in an English-speaking country, and it's in a restaurant. And since it's a free event and they're giving free balances, free Touch for Health balances, they ask people to bring food with them that they can give to the local food bank. So I thought that was a really nice way to get energy moving from one person to another, and it's certainly in the heart energy that is when we're doing this event. So I thought that was pretty great to see that type of volunteer activity happening. Yeah. So another thing we could do then would be a figure eight. Let's do a figure eight on our body. So I'm going to push the table away a little bit. Oh, I love figure eights. Well, that's my alarm in case I fell asleep. So we're going to just do a figure eight on the torso. 1 second. Let me push this down so you can see my torso and a little bit further away. Okay, so we're just going to go in one direction. It's funny when you start doing energy work, animals always come to see what's happening. Go in the direction that feels good for you. This is the one that feels good for me. And whenever it feels good, you can stop. I usually stop in the middle, where the two parts of the figure eight meet. So if I stop and feel what's going on in me, that really woke me up. I was feeling a little sleepy because I've been up all night long. But the figure eight really makes me feel like I've had a good night's sleep. So that's something to remember, that, you know, if you're ever tired, you can do figure eights on different parts of your body. And they're also very good on scars. If you do figure eights on a scar, that can help the scar heal better, look better. It's a pretty good way to be able to work on scar tissue. So let's take a look on internet and see if India is online yet. I can see that I'm direct on channel 1. Nope, I don't see them online yet. I was going to talk to you about our YouTube channel. So let me get that address for you. So the YouTube channel is called IKC Balancathon. It has kind of a long HTTPS. But if you just go onto YouTube and then do IKC Balancathon, you'll come onto the channel. And we have general information about the IKC Balancathon event. We have a lot of videos about 14 muscle dance. And as we go through the Balancathon, I'm putting in a new playlist, which is the Balancathon live streaming. So if I go on that, yeah, you can see New Zealand. Unfortunately, this second video from New Zealand didn't work out. So we have New Zealand 1 and New Zealand 3. We have the first introduction that I did, the first 2 time zones that I did. Then we have Japan 1.1 and we have Japan 2.1 and 2.2. And once India gets online, then I'm going to go ahead and put onto this playlist Japan 2.3 so that you'll be able to see it. So throughout the 26 hours, I will be taking videos from the Twitch channels and putting them directly onto the Balancathon live streaming playlist. That way you'll be able to see them again, because sometimes you've missed something and you'd like to go back, or you'd like to redo once again with the people who have gone through that. So let's go ahead and see what time it is now in India. I have it as 11:29 in India. There are several time zones. No, there's only one time zone in India. So What I'm going to do now, it's 8 a.m. my time, so that means that it's time to, let me get back to me, take the candle from headquarters and wish a wonderful, wonderful IKC Balancathon to India. We have 4 cities that are going to be doing local events. I hope they will be able to get their live streaming going. Let me see where those events are. Did I write that down? No, I didn't write it there. Sorry, I didn't write down the cities they'll be in. But you can check out the website of the live streaming page. And once they get on, then you'll be able to follow along with them. So, see you later. Bye. Have a good Balancathon.